Yeah, see that one transaction. I waited and waited and waited. Nobody was here, so finally, I guess, thanks.
What do you say, Ash?
And at that time, you may be able to see that he has toenails. Toenails that are very similar to the elephant's toenails. So those are the main similarities between manatees and elephants. And again, it's not that they may have descended from a similar group. Anybody know what manatees eat? Lettuce. Besides lettuce. Very good. Okay, we got a lot of people out here who know a little bit about manatees. Anyways, they do eat plants. They're called herbivores. As far as I know, they're the only the only marine mammals that do eat strictly plants and not in the wild. All you have to do is watch these guys swim around a little bit, and you'll see that they're very slow moving. They really don't have any way to catch fish. So they stick to the plants. Out in the wild, if they're in fresh water, they would be eating things like water lilies and hydrilla. And if they happen to be in salt or brackish water, they would be eating maybe seaweed and sea grasses. Here at the living seas, you can pretty much guess what they eat the majority of. It's lots and lots of lettuce. They get their fresh water from their food, so they eat on and off all day long. A lot of people ask us just how much do manatees eat. It depends on the manatee, it depends on the day. It's thought that manatees will eat anywhere from 4 to 11% of whatever that animal weighs each and every day. So, to give you an idea for these animals, I mentioned Chester's about 1,400 pounds, Hurricane's about 1,500 pounds. There are the two animals right in front of you now. And
I did answer you, just didn't answer you wanted. project focuses on communication between dolphins and land. For this experiment, which is successful, the main communication between the animals. These animals, creatures, living seas.
There's more coming out.
To navigate the murky waters. Now, find food. This process is known as echolocation. Dolphins use whistles to communicate with one another. Each dolphin has his unique signature whistle, named the dolphins like us. Dolphins form strong bonds, living together in groups called pods. They are highly social. They always seem ready to play.
Conrad has, now you can see Conrad has his arm out in front of him. That's our signal to the dolphins that we would like to say something.
Shark Alley.
So Conrad just said search Shark Alley to our dolphin Toby. Now the Shark Alley is the location directly behind the keyboard. So you can see Toby's heading back to that location. And it looks like there is some food back there for Toby to eat. It's inside of a jar, so his trainer will have to give him the food that's in that jar. And our dolphin Bob came up to the keyboard and activated the divider key. Divider is the location that's right where that large divider there. Now the igloo is this location that's right down to the right of the keyboard. That large clear ball that you see is a dive bell. We call it an igloo. That has air pumped into it so divers can go up inside without having to use their scuba gear.
Igloo. Find. Float.
So our trainer Conrad just said find float to our dolphin Toby. Now the float is one of the... Hey, you got the float right into the tool side. The float floated up. And his food came right out the side. So in case you missed that, our other dolphin Bob will be over there using his float tool in just a second. So right now our trainer Conrad has just pointed our dolphin Toby over to Tom. Tom is in the greenish yellow fins up at the keyboard.
Harry. At. Restaurant.
And Tom just said herring at restaurant to Toby and Conrad. Now the restaurant is the location off to your right. Tom is acting as an informer this morning, so he can swim around and look for where the different foods are hidden, kind of help the dolphins and trainers out, and he can let them know where different things are. So he just told them that that's where the herring is located.
At.
It looks like he's going to repeat the same thing for our dolphin Bob and Bob's trainer Mark as well.
Restaurant.
Once again, both dolphins are Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. They're two of 6 dolphins that we have here at the Living Seas. And we have the males who are out in the aquarium right now. We also have 4 females that are in the backstage area right now. And both Bob and Toby have been here at the Living Seas since we opened about 11 years ago. Both are about 16 years old. Anybody out there wondering how to tell Bob and Toby apart? They look the same, don't they? When they swim by, I'll point out the easiest way to tell them apart is by which trainer they're working with. If you can tell the trainers apart, that's how you know which dolphin is which. But they do have very different body shapes. Toby's about 9 feet, 9.5 feet long and weighs about 500 pounds, so he's very long and thin, whereas Bob is about 9 feet long and weighs about 540 pounds. So Bob's a little bit shorter and a little bit broader. He's got a bigger head area. Bob's also got a little bit darker coloration around his head area. If you look at Bob's right pectoral fin, it's got a little notch that's missing. And Toby's up at the keyboard black birthmark actually, that looks like an eyebrow. So as Toby swims by, you can see that black birthmark, that's his eyebrow. So right now, Toby and Conrad are heading all the way around to your right to the shipwreck location. And Mark and Bob are going to be up at the keyboard. So once again, my name is Erica. Right now I'm going to turn off my microphone and wander around to answer any questions that you might have. If there's anything that you ever wanted to know about dolphins, about the research we're doing, now would be a good time to ask.
Okay, so what we've done is we basically showed you how to maneuver through a page. In other words, pointing and clicking will get you where you want to go on the internet. However, pages aren't always as easy to get to as typing in www.disneyworld.com. That was a pretty self-explanatory address. When it comes to finding things that are hard to find, you need to turn to something called a search engine.
Shavings from the unripe green papaya fruit are used to produce paraffin, which is a meat tenderizer. And on the other side, we're saving valuable space by growing the coconuts next to the cacao and sweet potatoes beneath this. We call that intercropping. Growing two or more crops together in the same space at the same time. The peanuts and rice you see in the terraces on your right are being grown in the same space, but not at the same time. We call that crop rotation. The location of each crop is switched after the harvest, and nitrogen left in the soil by the peanuts provides a natural fertilizer for the newly planted rice. And the bananas, which are grown throughout the tropics, are one of the most popular fruits in the world. While many of us consider them a snack food, their high starch and vitamin content make them a stable food source for many tropical countries. Now, when I mention farming, you probably don't think about fish. Well, fish farming, or aquaculture, helps us to produce tons of fish in small areas like these aqua cells. The baku, for example, on your right, require very little protein and do quite well in close quarters. Systems like this will allow us to raise fish in the harshest of climates, maybe even the desert. And on your left, the tilapia, catfish, and bass grown here are sometimes featured in restaurants at the Walt Disney World. And the colored covering you see is used to reduce the stress of the fish by reducing the amount of algae in the tanks. Now, clover is a legume, so like the peanuts we saw earlier, it takes nitrogen from the air and converts it to a natural fertilizer. So the sorghum growing with it receives free fertilizer through intercropping. That sorghum is also used to make bubble gum, as well as the sticky stuff found on the back of a postage stamp. This is our production greenhouse, where we have vertical growing, which we are able to grow more plants in less space. Also, vertical growing allows for better airflow through the leaves and helps reduce the amount of disease on the plant. We're also able to reduce the amount of water and nutrients we use in this greenhouse by about 70%. A computer-controlled irrigation device developed here at the land senses when the plants need water and provides it automatically. Now, pests destroy at least 1/3 of the world's food crops each year. Here at the land, we use what is called integrated pest management. And the first line of defense is the use of disease-resistant plants like these cherry tomatoes. We also release predator insects as needed to eat the aphids and other plant-eating insects. Techniques like this allow us to reduce the use of pesticides by about 60%. Everybody say hi to that robot over there. He's working with Epcot and the Department of Energy Scientists to learn more about the growth cycles of those plants. It collects important data 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our last laboratory is a creative greenhouse where we use aeroponics as another way to produce food without soil. There's a lot of space-saving techniques in here. For example, those lettuce, we can plant 700 lettuce plants on those 2 A-frames you see in the back. Where if we were to plant them flat on the ground, we get about 100 plants in the same space. And the plants you see with the exposed roots are receiving plenty of oxygen from the air, and they're receiving the water and nutrients they need as they pass through those mist boxes. As you can see, our squash are doing quite well. Biotechnology is a new tool used in agriculture and medicine. Our scientists are working with the Department of Agriculture to produce better plants through genetic engineering. As you can see, there's a lot to be said about living with the land, and I really enjoy taking you through our living laboratories.
family from the United Kingdom.
And from my home in Scandinavia, var vänlig och önska våra norska gäster välkommen.
And from Africa, نود أن نرحب من فضلكم بضيوف الشرف من بلد المغرب.
From the lands of the Orient, 欢迎你们来自世界各地的炎黄子孙。
From the land of the rising sun, 日本の皆様、ようこそお越しくださいました。And from my wonderful land, acompáñenme en darles la bienvenida a nuestra familia de México.
And to all of our family members who have traveled here from around the United States, welcome.
Now it's time to all come together for a sparkling celebration of Walt Disney World's 25th anniversary, Illuminations 25. us now as we celebrate the spirit of discovery.
Different parts of the park.
As we come together to celebrate Walt Disney World's 25th anniversary, let us remember not just the past, but the present. This very moment, as we stand side by side, young and old as one. After all, this is really a festival of friendship, a celebration of family, a circle of life.
It gives me a warm feeling just to think about it. Sure, Lord, we all like the things that go along with Christmas season. But here it is in the middle of December, and I don't see a single Christmas tree or twinkling light. How can we get in the Christmas spirit in this project without changing the atmosphere?
You need a little tinsel. You need a evergreen tree. You need a little music.
We need a little Christmas. All at the holly, put up the tree before my spirit calls again. Fill up the stocking, my baby rushing things, but let the halls again now. Christmas, every minute, carols in the window, carols be home for Christmas, but there are many times when people can't do it. They can only imagine chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and the smell of mom's roasting turkey, and the friendly voices of Christmas carolers.
so hard, and you all know this because you guys in here for rehearsal all those days. I really appreciate it. They were very, very faithful about attending rehearsal, which of course is the only thing that makes this work. And it wasn't just that, but when they came so ready to work and so willing to work hard and got along so well together all the time. It was amazing. It wasn't natural. It was wonderful. I just had a most enjoyable experience working with this whole group, and I thank all of you for loaning me your children early. We really had a great time. I want to give them one big hand. As you can see, we practice our vows. They're really making these for all we can. I would just like to, I have one announcement, so because Jamie's looking at me, that's to remind me to tell you that I think on the back of the menu, it said that the breakfast is on Wednesday, tomorrow, and it's not. It's on Thursday. Oh my goodness, I was full. So Thursday morning, we are doing our choir breakfast at 8 o'clock. Don't send them real early, because I won't let it in until 8. But send them hungry, because we'll have lots to eat. So that's just one small thank you for all their hard work. I'd like to especially thank Mrs. Wiseman, Mrs. Vaughn, and Mrs. Fischetti, and many other moms who came and helped with the balloons, and those three especially did a lot of the decorating today for the wonderful decorations all around the room, and we really appreciate that a lot. We've never had such a fancy decorating job, ever. All right, and I'm under instructions here. Brian told me I had to tell you. Come on, Brian, stick your hand up. He is our fabulous, I think these were his words, sound technician. And he was ably assisted by Tim Bessel, who got drafted close to the end of the show. So unfortunately, his name did not appear in the program, but it should be there. We were sorry that Adrian Collins is sick today. She was one of our special dancers, and I'm sure she feels worse than just being sick because she couldn't be here for either show. And we're sorry that she couldn't be here. And I wanted to just mention my 4 librarians who have helped me enormously through the whole time. Amanda Bernicki, Crystal Bermudez, Alicia Ruti, and Susie Brzezinski cleaned up, they set up, they did it every single rehearsal. Took care of my room, which was chaos when all these people left every day. And they did such a wonderful job. So I thank them. We would like to real quickly get to the refreshment portion of this. Let's get finished because the Bulls are playing tonight. I'm looking at the game. We have, big rivalry. We have certificates for all the kids who participated, and the moms were so nice. Oh, I shouldn't start this yet? Okay, Speaking of the infamous, James Schulte. Sean Martin. Eric Keller. Thomas Greenwood. Mark Hardy. Louisa Sarkisian. Amber Lucia. Kevin Ward, one of our co-workers tonight. Dave Cole.
There's more. Well, listen, after having looked at this pad, I believe, can you tell what this is? That is a cummerbund, a man's cummerbund. Fiddlesticks for a man. I'd like that myself.
For the garden wedding.
Oh, the garden? Oh, I see. That pin weaving looks different. It's so narrow.
Yes, we took the bias tape that we've used in all the other things and folded it in half to get it narrower and make it more pliable, actually.
Oh, that is really pretty. Okay, I know I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to tell you, though, I love your vest with the one lapel.
Yes. Well, you know, we don't want to start with a full vest. We did those last time, and it's a full vest. It takes 4 hours just to weave, and it's kind of discouraging. Costs a few more dollars. So what we've decided to do is tell people start with something very small. The lapel on my vest here is just something we added to one of those vests you buy in the craft store.
Yes, in the craft stores.
Yes, one of those chambray vests. And you can either add something to it or do an applique, as we've got on this
like
vest
this
over
little
here.
one.
Yeah, little
That's
daisies.
cute.
All we did was cut out some pieces.
Listen, that would take me 4 hours to do that, though, for heaven's sake. Oh, that's painted.
Yes.
This is painted.
Oh, that's just painted around it, sure.
Oh, for heaven's sake, that's pretty.
Have your posies, you got to have leaves.
Oh,
you
true.
just did
Okay.
florals.
Yes. So I suppose we should have a quick review, and I see you're prepared for it.
Yes,
of pin
I'm ready
weaving.
just to talk about what you need for basic supplies. Very important, fusible interfacing, only on one side, rough side up, because that's where the glue is. The grid, to keep yourself straight. Just stick it on the grid and you're ready to go. Here we've got the up and down, which is the warp, and that's either something, it's always something heavier, like a piece of ribbon, piece of trim that's a little bit heavier, or something like that, and something that will line up nicely. Then you just take your handy dandy shuttle and weave through. We've already got parts of this done just to show you what we've got going on.
But now you're using bias tape to pull through. I would think that would be heavier than what you've got down there.
No, the bias tape is actually lighter. And to actually make the fusible interfacing work, you need something with a little bit of cotton in it. Something that the iron will activate onto the glue.
On what, all of it, or just the...
Just places, because remember, you know, once you turn it over, it irons down all right. But from the top, you need something that you can stick it down with. Then you have your finished piece. You iron it very carefully from the top. Don't want to move your lines around or anything. Just press it, then move the iron and press it again. Then turn it over, and this is when you really press it down good, is from the back side. Really apply more heat. Then you got a piece of fabric. All you got to do is whatever you want to do with it. Cut it out to any shape at all.
Now this, what you've done with this kills me. You don't really believe that somebody's going to use that beautiful pot
Well,
holder?
they'll probably end up hanging them on the refrigerator.
Yes, yes.
But we're going to show you what goes with them and show you what to do with a plain, ordinary binder in the next segment.
Oh, with pin weaving on a notebook? Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
She gave us a tease, didn't she?
HGTV is at Home with the Stars tonight. Tour the upstate New York home of talk show veteran Sally Jesse Raphael.
There's nothing more important than where you live. Nothing in the world.
Find out why this 45-room mansion is what Sally considers her latest project.
I'm a houseaholic. A major, major houseaholic.
Marsha Brandwin hosts At Home with Sally Jesse Raphael. It's all part of our At Home with Week tonight at 10, 9 Central, right here on HGTV.
We need need some more furniture for our clubhouse. You got that right. Hey, guys, the Joneses Furniture. It's moving. Come on.
With your pointy. Make it, folks. Score! Touchdown!
Get the girls. The game's on. Hurry.
Would you girls like to watch the game?
I can't watch.
The girls are busy.
Oh, well. Alley-oop.
Do you think that was in our clubhouse?
Lane Reclining Furniture, the most comfortable seat in your house.
Is this possible?
He came to the door to mow lawns.
After 9 years,
The fingerprints match.
her son is home.
He doesn't know who we are. He doesn't remember us.
But a house isn't a home
I don't see why I have to live here.
unless the people inside
I've been doing fine without you.
I don't think you have been, Vincent.
are a family.
All I want is for us to be happy.
You'll let me do what I have to do.
Michelle Pfeiffer, The Deep End of the Ocean, rated PG-13. Opens everywhere March 12th.
Every day, more people are choosing Lowe's, and here's why.
No one else sells more of what you need to get your lawn and garden in shape.
If your yard's this big, Lowe's has this.
This big? Lowe's has this.
Plus trimmers, pressure washers, and Lowe's is the only home improvement warehouse to carry Joyville.
All at everyday low prices, guaranteed.
Got questions? Experts like me are in every store. When it comes to home improvement,
Lowe's knows.
Tired of your couch catastrophe, out-of-date styling, lost the battle with lovable little ones, furry friends, or messy munchers? Why spend thousands of dollars to replace or reupholster old worn furniture? Introducing Fieldcrest slipcovers, the only one-piece machine-washable slipcover that provides great fit and style. Fieldcrest slipcovers go on in minutes, stay where you put them, and look great. Enjoy huge savings, decorator styling, and super fit. Fieldcrest slipcovers. Your couch will love you, and so will your potato. Call for your free catalog, 1-888-SLIP-1-ON, 1-888-SLIP-1-ON.
You can feel it start to burn, all through here. All you can think about is getting rid of it quickly. I even tried Zantac 75, but it didn't work fast enough. Finally, I asked my doctor, and my doctor said Mylanta. Fast-acting Mylanta was made to work fast, where heartburn hurts most. Soothing, on contact. It's so fast. My doctor said Mylanta.
And if you suffer from gas, there's a Mylanta just for you. Mylanta Gas. This week's resource guides from the Carol Duvall Show are available by sending $5 for shipping and handling to Carol Duvall, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37950. Be sure to include the week number on your envelope or visit our website at www.hgtv.com.
Well, we're back with Pat DeSantis from Wrights, and Pat is now going to show us what this three-wing notebook has to do with pinweaving.
Absolutely. First, we have to cover the book.
Okay.
So you can see that this is just a plain, ordinary three-ring binder that you buy in your stationery department of any department store.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of fabric that is about 4 inches longer than the binder when you open it up, and about 6 inches longer, 4 inches wider. And then all you're going to do is cut around your edges, because most of the fabric, we've got a denim here and that really ravels, but most fabric ravels, so cut around it either with pinking shears or some of the new scalloping shears or something like that.
Or if you don't have either one of those, you can take a hem, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, you can always hem it. But we're into gluing. Actually, you can turn it under and glue it.
And glue it. There we go.
In the gluing age, people don't want to think about hemming and sewing, but they do glue. But what you're just going to do is turn in the 2 edges, make it just a little bit wider than the binder itself, because you want to be able to slip it in.
Mm-hmm.
Fold your edge in and hem, then turn it down so you've got a pocket, and do the same thing on the other side. Here we've got the piece that's all done. The inside of it should look like
It's really basically
this.
like the ones we do for our regular little pocketbooks and stuff like that.
And just the same way that you cover your books in school with the brown paper bags. Exactly. This is how you learn to do it. And then you just take your binder, slip it into the pocket on each side, and you've got a finished binder. Now we're ready to do some pin weaving on it, or do some other decoration with the same binder.
And I see we have a purple book right down here
Yes.
with just little bits and pieces of pin weaving on it anyway.
It's just got time. Again, we talked about doing small pieces of it and things like
projects
that.
first, yes.
That's actually a little girl's scrapbook, so we've used a lot of rickrack because little girls like rickrack.
Yeah, that's cute with the little clouds and the whole bit.
Uh-huh.
But you're a lot more ambitious on this fisherman's book up here.
That's our fishing trip, and it's actually pin woven. That we've covered the whole book. Then we've woven the whole front of it too, and with a picture frame, we just glued a picture frame right over it.
That's terrific looking, and then wonderful cording around it.
Yes, well, you know, we got to decorate them up too, so it's really a nice memento of something.
It really is terrific, and I love the Christmas one over there with Santa on the cover with the kids.
The Christmas one is actually just a pin-woven piece that we cut the tree out of and stuck right on a binder that you buy.
So it's a dark green binder, actually.
Yes, yeah, we just trimmed around it and dressed it up. So if you're really in a hurry to do something, you don't have enough cover the whole thing with fabric, you don't have to do
But
that.
how do you cut that middle out without wrecking it?
You just trace it, press it down, glue it, and then glue some trim over it. And trim covers up any kind of mistakes you're going to have on anything.
Oh, fabulous. That's darling. Those don't happen to be your grandchildren.
Yeah, they do, actually.
For heaven's sakes, would you believe
Naturally.
That means immediate close-up. That's the message that came through.
All right.
Now, this next one, this bridal book, good grief, is that fancy?
The bridal book is done the same way. We've just used fancier things in the pin weaving, and what we've done to make the cover look a little more dressy is taken a piece of an ordinary foam core or cardboard, padded it, covered it with the white satin, then stuck the pin weaving on top of this so that you get some padding.
And it looks like you have an oval-shaped embroidery wreath.
That's an embroidery hoop.
Is it really?
Yes, we just covered it with ribbon and added a few ribbon roses, and you can stick a picture in it or just leave it that way.
That's wow. Some bride would really love that one. And then here we have just a second to show this.
We have to finish our story. This is the cookbook. And we just took, because I don't know if you're sloppy like I am when you're in the kitchen, but we've slipped the pin weaving inside the plastic cover, and just think what a gift this would make with matching pot holders.
Isn't that grand? That's divine. I can't believe a pin weaving covered cookbook. Wonderful. Pat DeSantis, our guest from Rice. Our thanks to Pat, our thanks to Joe Gordy, and our thanks to you for joining us today, and hope you'll do again the next time we're around.
Matt and Sherry show you how to make an apartment home on Room by Room. Then on Decorating Sense, learn creative ways to stretch your decorating dollars with host Joan Steffen. It's all part of Design at 9, tonight, only on HGTV.
Welcome to the show. Pre-patterned Millefiori canes are wonderful products that make great crafting easy, and we got a great project for you. It's a simple enough one to do with the kids, and yet it's elegant enough to give as a gift, maybe even make for yourself. We recently caught up with craft designer Joan Pompa, and she gave us this lesson.
Today I'd like to show you how to use Millefiori canes. And when we work with the Millefiori canes, we can make beautiful jewelry and other things for your home in addition. Here we have a Christmas ornament and some votive lights that have been covered. We have a tall candlestick holder, jewelry. So just think about all the different things you might want to do with this wonderful product. The Millefiori canes are friendly clay with a pattern in them that goes completely through the cane. I'm showing you different canes because I just want you to see the wonderful variety that we have available to us. This is the original size of the cane, and I'm going to reduce the cane in size. I start by warming the clay. I have the clay warmed. I roll it in my hands. I keep it warm. Then I continue to work with the cane. I'm going to reduce it. So to reduce the cane, I start by pinching the center, and the cane starts to elongate. I pinch it, and I roll it between my palms. I pinch it again. And then I can also roll it on the table, just like this. All right, now, I'm going to take this cane, which I have already reduced to the size that we want. I will cut it in half, and then I'll cut each one of those pieces in half again. All right. Now, I put the two canes together and press so that they become one. So we're going to press the two canes from the top to flatten the top slightly.
Now Joan uses the roller to press and flatten both sets of canes. Then she stacks them and squares them off with her fingers and the rolling pin.
Now, once I have the cane prepared in this manner, I can take the clay that I have already rolled and place this on here and roll it, covering it. Once I have it that way, I can trim the excess off and seal those edges together. Now that I have this wrapped, I'm going to lay it down and start to slice. I'm going to slice thin slices, probably 1/16 of an inch in thickness. And I'm just going to slice 3 pieces off and then pick up the votive, this wonderful glass votive, and press the slices on. And I'm going to do it with each one of them. I'm going to press the seams gently to eliminate that seam line. All right, so that's the way it looks at this point. I'm going to take the next cane that I have here, and you will see that it has 4 different patterns in it. We're going to make this cane by doing the exact same thing we did before. We're going to roll, cut, stack, and square. All right? The only thing we're not going to do to this cane is wrap it. We're going to leave it just the way it is. Now, when I rolled the clay out in order to make the blanket, I also rolled additional clay at that time. And I can take that clay and I cut it to fit the bottom. I can lay that clay there and then seal all those edges. And then my votive will be completely covered. Also at that time, I used other clay and made a coil. I made 2 coils and then twisted them. Now I'm able to put them along the top and cut so that they fit together and then seal those edges together. In order to finish your project, you're going to put this on a cookie sheet, place it in the oven, and bake for 30 minutes. At the end of the time, when you take your finished project out, this is what it's going to look like. And when you put a candle inside and light it, it glows.
Isn't that terrific? I think of the hours spent making those canes, although I will say it's fun to do that. I still can't get over whether you make them yourself or whether you buy them with the design already in them, how these will keep their integrity when you roll and roll and roll and make them so they're that big and still the design is perfectly formed. That little visit from Joan so inspired some of the elves around here that they immediately started slicing and smushing and baking just a little bit on some of these glass jars. And I was doing this with some canes that I had made and then sliced at different sizes. And this is just a PVC pipe. I haven't finished it yet. And you put a bottom on it just the way you saw Joan do there, even though it's clear. And this will be a pencil holder after I get the thing on the top. Anyway, whether you care to go the long way and make your own canes or this way, and they've got such wonderful designs. I want to go to the factory or wherever it is and see how these are made. Maybe we can do that one day. Anyway, coming up next, teach your kids some Native American history through crafts. Stay with us.
Brought to you by Joann Fabrics and Crafts. Experience the creativity.
Design at 9, an hour of decorating ideas, information, and inspiration you can only get here. tonight on Design at 9.
Next Awesome Interiors, we have everything but the kitchen sink. We'll meet the guru of unique and chic. The style in her place would amaze even Alice in Wonderland.
Then, this small space helps you find furniture that changes with you and your lifestyle. It's all on Design at 9, tonight at 9 on HGTV, Home and Garden Television.
Who said education has to be boring? Gift of Hope is an activity book with 6 fully illustrated and easy to understand craft projects that are interwoven within the story. And here to tell us a little more about it is Laura Keveland from Design Originals. Welcome once again, Laura.
I'm glad to be here, Carol.
This is quite a charming and unusual book.
Isn't it? It's very interesting because it's actually more like a storybook that tells the story of this Indian girl, but at the same time, we're teaching you how to do craft projects on each page.
That is just...
So it's fun and educational.
Medicine bag and...
we have a medicine wheel. And each of these we tell a little bit about the folklore and how it related to Indians and what they used it for in their life, as well as, you know, it kind of goes along with the story of this young girl on her journey.
It is just charming. And so is this little... Now, this is a little medicine bag.
It's a medicine bag, and Indians used medicine bags to place amulets and stones into them, and each of the stones had a different meaning. They were for protection or love or things like that.
This is the sort of thing, too, that youngsters could make up their own stories for with their own stones, whether they get them at the craft store or
if there's something they find in their backyard.
Find in the backyard, absolutely. Well, tell us how to do this and where to start.
Okay, this is easy. What we have is our basic supplies. We have a piece of leather and then an awl and a rubber mallet, and then we just have our scissors and our sinew with some thread on it, and then our cording that we use to tie on the top.
Where do you get pieces of leather like this?
Our leather is from Tandy Leather, but some craft stores do carry it as well. Okay. So what we're going to do to start off is, you can see we've traced and transferred our pattern, and then we're just going to cut the leather piece out, and I'm only going to cut one side off here, just to show you how easy it is to cut that leather off. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use your awl and punch holes along the side with the mallet. And basically you just hit it like that. I hit it a little hard. But you can see that it makes a hole in it. And you would want to do that on a stable surface and not on a countertop, because it might scar the countertop. So we're just using a cutting board here. And you'd want to punch holes to the middle and then loop it over and mark through your holes so that you'd have them lining up on the other side. Yeah.
Good little obvious tip,
but
when you wouldn't notice.
Obvious tip, but you wouldn't think of it sometimes.
Until it was too late, right.
So then what we're going to do is we have our piece already cut, and we're folding it over so that the darker side is in, and you can see how all our holes are lining up there. And we're just going to take our sinew and stitch through the holes. And what we're going to do here is just a basic little back and forth stitch.
Now, the sinew, do you also get this where you get the leather?
Yes, you can find that wherever you can find leather. And you can also find that in a lot of beading stores as well. They carry sinew, because it's kind of a natural fiber to use for beading.
Now, sinew, now is this what I guess I was always mispronouncing it. Anyway, it's S-I-N-E-W, isn't it?
Yes, S-I-N-E-W. Okay. Maybe I'm the one mispronouncing it.
Well, anyway, as long as we know what it is. I read about it in Hiawatha, I think.
Oh, really? All those wonderful poems. So anyway, once you've gotten this all laced up, you'll notice that we have an extra hole at the top. And what we do is we go up through that one, and then we come back down through. And we're going to knot this off on the back by just sliding underneath that last loop. Whoops. And then we're going to knot it off like that. And you'd probably even want to double knot it, just so that it's on there securely. And then you just trim the rest of the sinew off, and then do the same thing down at the bottom.
So you're learning all sorts of skills in doing just a little thing like this.
You know, just doing a basic little stitch.
Now this is our bag all stitched up.
And then this is our bag once it's been stitched, and you just thread this leather cording through the end, and then you're going to tie it off in the back.
I love that leather
cording.
Just
like that. Isn't it neat?
Yeah.
And it's real easy to work with, and it doesn't get all crinkled. Bends easily. You're going to tie it off in the back, and once again, you'd probably want to do a double knot just to secure it, and that way it has something to hang by from around your neck. So then we move over to our final one, and what we've done is we've taken the pattern that's in the book and just traced and transferred it on there, and then painted it with some acrylic paints and just a paintbrush. And so you've got your bag, and then of course you find your own stones or rocks,
wonderful
and all sorts
jewels
of things.
here.
Jewels to put in your bag.
As we said, of course, wonderful things that the kids can just find in the backyard. I think that is just a terrific project.
Isn't it?
It's a lovely story. It takes me back to, gosh, it takes me back to my grade school when we were first learning about the Indians and making macaroni necklaces. This is much, much nicer.
Much nicer.
And then I can see where you can get inspired to go on beyond even the projects in the books.
Beyond the
and
simple
make some things
projects,
like
you can
this.
get more detailed and intricate. You can really get into the Indian folklore and learn a lot more about the beading and some of the different stones that they use and get real decorative with these crafts.
They're just lovely. It was so a lovely project. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
It. Now then, coming up next, you don't need to spend a ton of money on a teddy bear anymore. We have a few easy steps to making your own.
Nancy will have to see from near to far almost 1,000 times today. Her eyes will focus on 40 labels, 60 charts, and 100 smiles. And in all that time, she'll never once think about the science that allows her to focus instantly at all distances. Nancy just knows that her Verilux lenses help her see better. And for her, that's a very comforting thought. Verilux, the comfort of better vision. For more information, call toll-free 1-800-VERILUX.
Sure is out to clear things up with Sure Clear Dry.
Looks like a white solid.
Yeah, but it's clearly better. Because when you put it on,
it's clear.
So what could you do with Sure Clear Dry?
Lift up my arms. Salsa dance.
Sure Clear Dry. Sure protection for the real world.
If your idea of a good time is getting down and dirty, then weekend mornings on HGTV are for you. We're talking serious building, remodeling, gardening, and landscaping. HGTV Weekend Mornings.
Hi, I'm Sandra Vetzina from Sew Perfect. With the help of my new book, Fabric Savvy, you can sew anything. Velvets, vinyls, canvas, stretchy knits, microfibers, silks. This is the spiral-bound guide you've been waiting for to tell you the right needle, stitch length, interfacing, seam finish, hems, and closures. Look for Fabric Savvy in your local fabric store or bookstore, or call Taunton Press, 1-800-888-8286, $24.95 and $3 shipping.
The Libman Wonder Mop. Extra dry with a twist.
Discover Estroven with natural plant estrogens from soy to help balance your own estrogen levels. Feel like yourself again with Estroven, the natural choice.
Well, companies are springing up across the country now making personalized teddy bears. Who would have thought? And they're charging up to $60 to $80 for them. In fact, in many cases, a lot more than that. Well, my next guest says that you really can make your own for a fraction of the cost. She is bear maker, Sandy Norris. And welcome to the show, Sandy. You know, I guess people probably would realize they can make them a lot less expensively, but are somewhat intimidated by the idea of making.
Well, it's fairly simple, and it takes patience. You gotta have a lot of patience.
Oh well, see,
Okay.
that stops me right there. Now you see, you have a regular pattern. Does it make any difference what you're going to tell us? What make, whether it's Simplicity or this company or
Whatever
that
works
company?
for you, whatever's comfortable, and whatever you like.
Okay.
Whatever you want to choose. You know, you go through the pattern book. You pick your pattern and the bear that you like in particular. Cut your pieces out. I usually make a template, a cardboard template. For my teddy bears because it's easier. You can use the pattern over and over. And I purchased my fur, the velvet for the paws. I always have a marking
Velvet
pin.
paws, you get that, folks. By your mentioning the velvet paws, let me show them, by the way, one of your teddy bears.
Thank you.
Which I should have done earlier, because what we're going to really be talking about is how to make them jointed. That's the thing that spooks a lot of people out. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted them to see how cute she was. So we have velvet paws on our bears.
Right, that gives them a little special class. Okay, and you're going to purchase your fur. You're going to...
now this you get at a regular fabric store, right?
Any local fabric craft store, mostly fabric stores. You're going to trace your pattern. I use a felt marker so it shows up, or a grease pencil if it's a dark background, you know, like a white one. And you trace out your pattern and then cut it out.
Boy, that is busy on the back, isn't it?
It can be. That's why I use marker, because it's bolder.
Okay, so we cut all our pieces out.
Uh-huh.
I roll this up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we have fur all over the
yes,
table.
Yes, what a mess you've made of our place, Sandy. Anyway, this is wonderful stuff.
Go ahead and put your pieces together and machine sew them. And
up to this point, it's really like working with any other fabric. A little trickier maybe, but basically the same
Because
steps.
it's bulkier, you want to make sure that the needle you use in your machine is like a 14 or a 16 for heavy-duty fabrics and stuff, so that it doesn't keep bending every time you go through. And we want to cut the little dots that you marked here and here for to insert your doll joint.
Now those dots are like on the pattern as well, and this is where you're going to...
Right.
Okay.
See here? And you can just, I always punch them out and put my marker through them.
Okay.
Okay? And then after you've sewn your piece and snipped your little holes here to put your joints in, you want to turn your fabric.
Now with heavy fabric like this, and of course maybe there are loose turns or easy turns, you don't have to snip the fabric along the edges as you go?
Not usually, no, because you, it fluffs itself out, you know, and you're going to run your scissors or your fingernail along the seam after it's turned a little bit here, so that...
This you bought in a fabric store? My goodness, okay. So now we're going to put the joints in, and this is the thing that intimidates people and they think they can't do it.
We've got our little leg here.
Okay.
Okay, and in the legs, use a 55mm doll joint, washer, and lock nut, and then in your arms, your legs, and your head, of course, it's a little bit smaller. Okay? You take the stem joint itself and insert. Of course, this is the tight part. If you make your hole too small, you have a little difficulty.
And you have to search around.
Right.
Oh, there you are.
Okay, pop it through the hole. I usually stick my fingers in the back where I stuff it. Okay, and this will be, I believe we're left-legged today.
Okay.
And of course, you got to run your hand up in here and find where your hole was.
These look like they're pretty child-safe too. I mean,
they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be safety lock. That's the feature. So now you have your stem here.
Okay.
Okay, and it's going to go through your body. And then you're going to take this washer. This is the washer. This helps to also keep from pulling through.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You get somebody who's really strong and wants
yes. You have a kid that really gets upset with their toys. Okay.
And you slide it on. Okay. And then you press it close tight, and I've got a hold of it really good. Okay. Now this is the locking washer. This locks on. Once this is locked on, you can't get it apart.
Okay, so this is it. Better do it right the first time, is
Yeah, and
there's really no way to do it wrong, though, is there?
And don't have handy helper little children who say, let me put these together before they go inside. Because you've just lost one joint.
Oh, okay. Ooh, you can hear it.
Right.
Like the knuckles cracking.
And he's jointed. He's all together now.
Isn't that cute? And then, and it doesn't happen this fast, but let me show you. Now then, after you've done that to all of them, and then you stuff it.
Go ahead, pick her
Sew it up together. I can pick it up? Okay, I'll pick her up, bring her over here, and say, does she have a name?
You can give her any name you want.
Okay, anyway, now you can do a doll, a teddy bear like this. Thank you so very much, Sandy. And now, when we come back, we're going to turn regular fruit into colorful accents for wreaths and floral arrangements.
This week's resource guides from the Carol Duvall Show are available by sending $5 for shipping and handling to Carol Duvall, Box 50970, Knoxville, Tennessee 37950. Be sure to include the week number on your envelope or visit our website at www.hgtv.com. Coming up today on HGTV Daytime. Carol Duvall takes a stab at needlepoint. She'll share the basic techniques of this delicate and beautiful art. Then how to shop smart for your craft supplies. A thrift store may be just the place. The Carol Duvall Show, today at 2 on HGTV, Home and Garden Television. Buckle up with HGTV for Homes on the Road, the RV story. Saturday at 5 Eastern on HGTV, Home and Garden Television.
Spring is almost here, and that means new fabrics on sale at Hancock Fabrics, like fashionable spring challis prints, 25% off, or classic Dublin linen, 33% off. Save 20% on elegant jacquards and satins. A huge selection of sportswear solids, broadcloth, and interlocks are on sale. Save 20 to 40% on our entire stock of decorator fabrics, and 25 to 33% on trims and accessories. Plus, all Butterick patterns are 99 cents. Save on new spring fabrics for you and your home this week at all Hancock Fabric stores.
It's new, it's unique, it's Candle Song. Light it, listen, love it. Candle Song surrounds you in warm candlelight, romantic music, and soothing aroma at the touch of a match.
I bought Candle Song for a friend. I couldn't wait to hear it, so I lit it and knew that I was going to keep it for myself. My entire family loves it, but I call it my Just For Me candle.
Whether it's in the glow of a single flame dancing in the eye of a lover's gaze, or the soft scent and romantic music that welcomes your guests as they enter your home, just light it in the bedroom or relaxing in a bath. Candle Song will go anywhere your imagination will take you. Candle Song transforms any ordinary situation into a sight and sound experience.
As owner of my own business with very little time for myself, the soothing aroma and music of Candle Song helps me relax.
Candle Song is handcrafted and artfully designed as a perfect accent piece, complete with volume control. Candle Song allows you to set the mood. Light the candle and let your senses be filled with sight, sound, and the scent of the world's most unique musical candle.
I heard this music, and I was surprised that it was coming from a candle. The sound was crisp, it was clear, just like a CD. I thought it was phenomenal, and I had to have Candle Song.
Candle Song is perfect for a friend, relative, or yourself. Light it, love it, or your money back. Your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed.
Order your Candle Song now for only $29.95 plus $3.95 shipping and handling. Have your credit card ready and call the toll-free number on your screen. Candle Song's 4-inch by 4-inch design provides hours of soothing aroma, romantic music, and soft candlelight. Music plays when lit and stops when extinguished, complete with batteries. An entirely new gift idea for all occasions. Light up your life or the life of someone you love with the light, sound, and scent of Candle Song. An entirely new sensation. Order the new patented Candle Song now. Light it, listen, love it.
Hi, I'm Sandra Betzina from So Perfect. With the help of my new book, Fabric Savvy, you can sew anything. Velvets, vinyls, canvas, stretchy knits, microfibers, silks. This is the spiral-bound guide you've been waiting for to tell you the right needle, stitch length, interfacing, seam finish, hems, and closures. Look for Fabric Savvy in your local fabric store or bookstore, or call Taunton Press, 1-800-888-8286, $24.95 and $3 shipping.
Well, dried fruit can really add gorgeous accents to a variety of things, well, like this wreath here. And Suzanne McNeil of Design Originals is back with some simple suggestions to creating this look. Welcome again, Suzanne.
Hi, Carol.
The dried fruits have really been so popular the last few years, but I think it's funny that it seems like oranges and other citrus fruits just sort of like suddenly, after a long time of just apples.
They have such a nice natural feel, and you just kind of feel like you're bringing the outdoors in. It's a real grounded feel, so I really like that.
I love all of them, and I think a refresher course in the apples, which started it all,
right,
would be good.
Yes. I mean, I remember the apple head dolls when I was a little girl, too. Well, first you need a sharp knife and just a regular old apple. You do want a fresh one. You don't want a real old or mealy one.
No.
And you want to slice that in real thin slices, about 1/8 of an inch or even thinner if you have a good sharp knife. Sometimes you can see the star in the middle of the apple, and I think that really makes a nice effect.
Be sure to slice them in that direction, not the other way.
Right, now I put some lemon juice in this little bowl, and you just want to drop those apples in there. And really what the lemon juice does is it's a preservative, and it helps retain the color. You know how apples and potatoes kind of turn brown after you cut them? Well, that will help the color retain. Just spread those out on a cookie sheet. Now, you want to cook those about 4 to 6 hours, just at a real low temperature, about 175 degrees, and they will actually dry at that time. And then you can check them, and if they're not quite dry, you might want to cook them a little bit longer.
Now, do you have to put anything on that, or you can just put them on the naked cookie sheet? I mean, do you have to spray it or anything like that?
If you have a real new, fresh cookie sheet, you can just put them on it, or Teflon, but your non-stick spray is always a safe thing to use.
Now, what about the oranges? You don't...
Okay, you treat those very similar to the apples. Again, you just slice them across the grain so you get that real pretty star effect. And again, about 1/8 of an inch. Now, these are already a citrus fruit, so you do not necessarily have to put the lemon juice on them, although it wouldn't hurt at all because they have a lot of sugar in them. The difference in the oranges is they have a lot more juice in them, so you need to use several paper towels and really get that moisture out of there. And just keep doing them with the paper towels until all the moisture seems to be gone. And then you won't have to cook them quite as long either.
Also, Suzanne was telling me that some of these you can actually do in the sun, can't you? These were done in the sun.
These are a sample. These were done in the sun. These were done in a home oven, and sometimes these will turn a little bit darker color, and these were done in a hydrator.
The one thing is just don't ever put them in a plastic bag. Thank you, Suzanne. And thank you, too. That's it for our show for today. I want to thank everybody who joined us and say happy crafting. We're going to see you next time. So,
See how bright, cheery colors can transform your home into a whimsical wonderland on awesome interiors. Then on this small space, learn how furniture and accents can make tiny rooms seem bigger. It's all part of Design at 9 tonight, only on Home and Garden Television.
Well, if you've been shopping for any greeting cards recently, or even any little gift enclosure cards, then you know that they are really getting to be very expensive. Some of them, of course, are wonderful little works of art, but they really cost a fair amount. I'm not talking about the cards you get in the drugstore. I'm talking about the cards you get in the card shops.